The story begins with John Kramer, known as Jigsaw, undergoing cancer treatment. Advised by his doctor to retire due to his limited time left, John attends a support group. Observing a custodian rifling through a patient's belongings, John envisions a gruesome trap involving vacuums attached to the custodian's eyes and a device connected to his fingers. In reality, the custodian, aware of John's gaze, refrains from tampering with the patient's belongings. Later, John discovers Henry Kessler, a fellow support group member who claimed to have stage 4 pancreatic cancer, but reveals a surgical scar from an experimental procedure by Dr. Finn Pedersen. Intrigued, John contacts Pedersen's daughter, Cecilia, who directs him to a clinic in Mexico. In Mexico, John meets a cab driver named Diego, but armed men forcibly take him to the clinic, seemingly in a mansion. Introduced to a supposedly cured patient, Gabriela, John meets Cecilia and her assistants, Mateo and Valentina. The night before the operation, John befriends a boy named Carlos and assists him with his bite. As undergoing the procedure, John slips in and out of consciousness. Believing the surgery was successful, he promises Cecilia the remainder of her payment. However, upon returning with a thank you gift for Gabriela, John discovers the clinic deserted. Investigating the surgery room, he uncovers evidence of a scam, realizing they never operated on him. Fueled by anger, John contacts his resources, initiating plans for revenge against those who deceived him. John Kramer, alias Jigsaw, discovers the fraudsters behind a sham medical operation, targeting dying individuals. Diego, the disguised doctor, falls victim to a trap involving cutting out pipe bombs wired into his arms, revealing crucial information under duress. Outside their scam, Valentina, a prostitute, is kidnapped by Amanda Young after a dangerous encounter, while drug addict Gabriela, her dealer Mateo, and clinic operator Cecilia are also abducted. The 4 perpetrators awaken chained in a room, facing John and Amanda. Accused of scamming vulnerable patients, Cecilia attempts to deny her involvement, but John initiates his revenge game. Valentina succumbs to a gruesome trap, failing to extract bone marrow in time, resulting in her decapitation. As the survivors notice a phone on a cart, Cecilia attempts to call for help using Valentina's intestines as a makeshift rope. Amanda intervenes, taking control of the situation. Disgruntled patient Parker Sears arrives, seeking retribution for a previous scam. But Amanda subdues him, and John proposes a deal for his cooperation. Amanda, influenced by empathy for Gabriela's history of addiction, spares her from the next trap. Mateo faces a challenge involving cutting brain matter to release a key, but he fails to complete the task in time, meeting a fiery demise. Gabriela's trap requires her to use a sledgehammer to break her limbs while hanging from one arm and one leg. She reluctantly complies, freeing herself but suffering burns to her face. The elaborate revenge plan orchestrated by John exposes the deceit of those who scam dying patients, ensuring they face their own macabre punishments. John and Amanda, seeking revenge, free Parker, but realize too late that he collaborates with Cecilia. Holding John and Amanda at gunpoint, Parker forces them to chain themselves. Cecilia, aware of John's identity as Jigsaw, steps on Gabriela's neck, breaking it to eliminate loose ends. She finds irony in a serial killer trying to punish her. Outside, Cecilia brings in Carlos, chaining him on a seesaw trap with John. Speaking in Spanish, John instructs Carlos not to pull the lever. Cecilia and Parker activate the trap, waterboarding John and Carlos with blood. John intentionally starts drowning himself to spare Carlos. Cecilia and Parker return to the office for their money. Pulling a bag, Cecilia unknowingly triggers a timer set for 10 minutes. Activating Hello Zap, flashbacks revealed John's knowledge of Parker's involvement. The bag contains documents showing withdrawals from Cecilia's accounts, releasing poison gas. Cecilia and Parker struggle for air as the gas burns their skin. Cecilia, desperate to survive, stabs Parker as warned by John and Amanda. As the countdown ends, Cecilia calls out futilely to John, locked in with no means to seek help. Guiding Carlos outside at dawn, John hands him the recovered money from Cecilia's scam. In the credits, John, aided by Detective Mark Hoffman, tracks down Henry, suspecting his involvement. John sets up a trap, activating it on Henry, who screams in terror.